We are coming to you from Guaranteed Rate Field in the city beautiful Chicago, Illinois, where tonight WGN Sports presents White Sox baseball as Rick Renteria and our Chicago White Sox as they get set to butt heads with Joe Maddon's crosstown rival, the Chicago Cubs. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Ken Harrelson with Steve Stone as we get set to bring you Game 2 of this three-game set. As you know, the opener yesterday was all Sox. I mean, they at one time had a 10-1 lead. They scored a few more runs, but the one thing about it in that game, Moncada's starting to really swing that bat.
When this season started in early parts of the year, Moncada had a big-time trouble from the right side. Not the case any longer. He's starting to swing the bat very well right-handed. In fact, consecutive 3-hit games, 3 hits yesterday, and in the last 12, hitting .385 right-handed, .361 left-handed, so he's really getting the job done late. But this shows the growth in a young man with unlimited potential, and hopefully things continue where they left off from this year to next, because right-handed, he's become a force to go with his left-handed force.
Well, there are a couple of big men out on that bump tonight.
There are today, and Lucas Giolito going to mound for us, John Lester going to mound for them. He's a left-hander who throws the ball very well. He's 16-6 this year, and against Cincinnati, he throws particularly well. This was at Wrigley Field, as you can see. It was in the shadows, as you can see, but he threw it by a whole lot of Reds hitters, and John Lester has had a magnificent year. But Lucas Giolito, last time out in Baltimore, had some big problems. Tough park to pitch if you don't get the left-handers out, but he did throw it very well against the Cubs. He beat them, however, walking 7th. Gone are the days where the control has been that spotty. Lately, he's getting the ball over the plate. He's had a very nice year. He's 10-11. You can see John Lester over the last 3 starts, excellent. And the last time Lucas Giolito looked at these Cubs at Wrigley Field, he threw it very well. Despite the 7 walks, he came away with a win, and that's the object against the Cubs. They have to win this one. The Sox would love to win this one.
All right, Game 2 of this 3-game set, so sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
White Sox baseball is brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Test drive a Hyundai today. Xfinity has the largest gig speed network, serving more homes than anyone else. Ford, inviting you to visit your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Choose Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, the card to carry through it all. Wintrust, home of Sox checking and debit cards. Open an account today at wintrust.com/Sox. And by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Audi dealers. Visit AudiOffers.com for exceptional offers on select Audi models.
Is Hawks' final broadcast on WGN TV. During the game, we're going to show some clips from some of the memorable games Hawk has called during his career. You won't want to miss those moments and the players that made up so many thrills during Hawk Harrelson's broadcast career. So stay tuned. Tonight's lineup and first pitch coming up, and the Hawk finale on WGN TV. Xfinity, delivering the fastest internet and best in-home Wi-Fi service. Call or visit an Xfinity store today. Beautiful night for baseball, and we've got the first pitches of the ball game. First of all, Sister Mary Jo came in on a hop. Beautiful. This is a repeat performance for Sister Mary Jo, and Jabari Parker, a new addition to the Chicago Bulls, steps out. Tremendous form and in the neighborhood.
Well, yeah, but Sister Joe got a better arm than he's got.
There's no doubt about that.
A better arm I got, too.
No doubt about that. And the White Sox take the field. Let's take a look at how Joe Maddon's going to line up his Chicago Cubs for the game tonight against Lucas Giolito. Daniel Murphy leading it off with Ben Zobrist in a 2 spot. Then it's Javi Baez, Anthony Rizzo, Chris Bryan moved down in the order. Jason Hayward, Wilson Contreras, who was all everything in that series at Wrigley Field early in the season. Then Kyle Schwarber in the 8th spot as a DH. And David Bodie playing 3rd and hitting 9th. We'll take a look at how our Sox are going to line them up defensively, and this is how Ricky Renteria puts them out there tonight with Ryan Lamar, Adam Engel, and Avi Garcia, the outfield. Then it's Yolmer, Tim, Yohan, and Matt in the infield, with Kevin Smith getting the nod behind the plate, and Lucas Giolito on the hill. Lucas trying to even it up at 11-11, his ERA 5.77, but it came from the 8s. It's been going down all year. Opponent's batting average at .245, and there you see the walks and the strikeout. Walks usually a product for him of not feeling the baseball very much, and early in the season a lot of walks, lately not so much. 4-seam fastball is going to be his mainstay. The sinker at 16 along with the changeup, the slider at 15%, and then the curveball at 10%. That's what he'll feature tonight. The umpires for the game this evening: Mark Ripperger has the plate, Doug Eddings at first, Joe West, the crew chief, is at second, and Chad Whitson is at third. So on a beautiful night for baseball, Joe Maddon realizing that with his loss last night and Milwaukee's come from behind win, the lead was down to a precious few. And Milwaukee is still putting the pressure on them. So Joe Maddon realizes that his team has got to pick it up. And Ricky Renteria, looking at his ball club, not giving anything up, just playing as hard as they can, although many times undermanned. And so they've thrown the ball around the infield, which means we're ready to play baseball, and that means we are ready for me to turn it over to my play-by-play partner for the penultimate time at Wrigley Field this year. Ken Harrelson.
All right, Stoney, thank you. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball. Game 2 of this week game set. As here is Daniel Murphy. Murphy, the homer leading off the ball game last night. He was 3 for 5. And that's going foul. And talking about that game, if you missed it yesterday, Cubs had no chance against Ronaldo Lopez.
No, he was unbelievable, and Joe Madden said so after the ball game. He said, give that young man some credit. He goes, he had really good stuff.
And he was hitting the spots.
Yeah.
24 years old, as is Giolito. I tell you what, it's going to be fun watching this club for the next 8 or 10 years. There's a shot. Hang with him.
Check your 2018 Chicago White Sox, presented by Guaranteed Rate. Your home team throughout the season, the official mortgage provider of the Chicago White Sox. Get started today at rate.com.
Hey, one thing about Daniel Murphy, he can hit.
There is no doubt he can hit.
He can hit.
With the knee problem, he's had some range problems, but he can swing the bat, and that's why the Cubs got him. They needed some offense.
Well, he can swing that bat is right. Here's Ben Zobrist, Mr. Steady Eddie. What a good player he's been in his career.
Well, Joe Madden made a change in their lineup, moving Zobrist in the 2 spot because he does get on base from both sides of the plate, and thinking maybe Bryant in the 5 spot can drive in a few more runs.
And that is Souvenir off the facade back down into the crowd. Lucas, as I mentioned, 24 years old, 6'6", 245 pounds, but you stand next to him and he looks like a lot bigger than that. And there's a base hit. Zobrist is what you call a good mistake hitter. If you make your pitches on him, you get him. If you don't, you make a mistake, he's going to hit it hard someplace.
And that was exactly what was in the mind of Joe Madden when he put Zobrist into the 2 spot. It's a bit of a rolling breaking ball, and Zobrist just waits for it and then hits it hard. So there was a good example of waiting on the back foot, keeping your weight back, your hands back, and then exploding when it's time.
Here's Avi Baez. Well, what a season he's had. 292, 33 homers, 107 knocked in. That's hit hard. And look at this. That line shot went out of here. Wow. Wow. I knew it was hit hard. I didn't think it was going to get out of here.
34th home run for Baez. He's now driven in 103 as he jumps all over this one. Line drive just over the glove of Ryan Lamar. I mean, he almost had a shot at that, but eventually it found the bullpen. 109 is home runs. Is runs batted in. 109, which is what a year. 34 home runs, making a bona fide case for the MVP.
Oh yeah. I know there's a guy in Seattle right now that's really upset.
Talking about Jimmy Olsen, of course.
Jimmy Olsen. He does not like the Cubs. So here's Rizzo. Yeah, Baez. Just 25 years old.
Big power, and he's just an electric player. I mean, there's really nothing he can't do.
That's high pop up. Yolmer making the call, has the ball. And that is out number 2. Well, strictly from a baseball standpoint, not a Sox Cubs standpoint, but just from a baseball standpoint, Baez is fun to watch.
He is. Yeah, he just does everything, and does everything exceptionally well and with a flourish.
So here's Bryant. Chris at 277, 12 homers, 49 knocked in.
Bryant's only playing in his 96th game, and he's had a few physical problems this year, notably shoulder problems.
Well, when you got a shoulder problem, you're not going to swing the bat very well.
Nope. And he can swing it real well.
I still cannot believe that ball Baez hit went out of this ballpark.
Lively park. Great place to hit. You've said that for years.
Well, that line drive just didn't come down.
No, that is a very strong young man.
And here at Guaranteed Rate Field, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gaps, and 400 straightaway center.
Thanks. Lucas this year, for whatever reason, and a lot of pitchers have problems in the early innings. Lucas has had his problems in the early innings especially, and then seems to feel pretty good about the performance and picks it up as he moves along.
Well, that has been an age-old problem even from the time I first started playing this game. Young pitchers having trouble in the first few innings.
And if they can make it through, they usually get, during the course of the game, they usually get looser, better, more pinpoint with their stuff. But early, you can get to them.
Yeah, they just don't have a rhythm at first. And, you know, they've tried. It's been funny over the years seeing how they tried letting them warm up longer. As Timmy's got it. And that'll retire the side. But the line drive home run by Avi Baez, it is 2-0 Cubs.
Tim Anderson leading it off with Yomer in the 2 spot. Then it's Avi and Matt and Wellington and Kevin and Yohan and Ryan and Adam rounding out the lineup. Let's look at the defense, and now Joe Madden's going to put them out there tonight with Bryant, Hayward, and Zobrist in the outfield left to right, and Bodie, Baez, Murphy, and Rizzo in the infield. Wilson Contreras gets a nod behind the plate. John Lester on the hill. 16-6 this year has been a terrific year for him. ERA just below 3.5. The opponent's batting average. He's starting to throw all 4 pitches again. He fell back on being just fastball and cutter. But these days he's throwing the curve, throwing the changeup a little, sinker not much. But you see primarily 4-seamer and the cutter. They're both fastballs, but they do different things.
Well, there's 77 games over 500. So do the math.
That's an unbelievable record.
You can't. Here's a guy, a good example of what we talk about so often. You cannot give him both sides of the plate. You have got to make him get you out on one side or the other. And you do that by what? Moving around in the box. But that's not going to happen. Forget about that.
No, nobody's adjusting.
Nobody is going to do that. Nobody is going to move around in the box. They're going to stand in the same place against John Lester, who's an outstanding left-hander, or against a hard-throwing right-hander, which makes absolutely zero sense. And believe me, I talk to almost every hitting coach, certainly in the American League, and then when we go interleague play, I talk to most hitting coaches. They all said the same thing. I try to get them to do it, and they won't do it. But as you know, there are some guys who absolutely cannot stand on top of the plate.
No, there's a lot of guys, and you know, you get questions all the time. Why don't they do this? Why don't they do that? I think if they felt they would be comfortable doing it, they probably would. But some guys take the feeling, Hawk, that look, I got here a certain way, I'm doing it, I've been here a certain way, and I'm going to live or die with that certain way.
That's the rationale of probably 95% of them. I know one thing, you give Lester both sides of the plate, and you try to cover the whole plate. The better the pitcher, the more of the plate you got to concede.
Goes with the curveball and throws it low and in. Perfect spot. Gets Tim to swing over the top. And it's 1 up, 1 out.
Now, you know, you've heard me say this 100 times in all the years we've been together. This is the poster child of a guy that you got to beat arm side if you're a right-handed hitter. And by arm side, I mean you got to try to beat him to right field. So what do? You back off the plate. You take the inside corner away from him because he's now going to try to go on the outside corner. And you let your mechanics, which you don't even have to think about because you're off the plate, go to right field.
Lester, as most of you probably know, started his career with Boston, was outstanding for them. The Cubs actually accelerated their rebuild for John Lester. They went out and got him probably a year earlier than they thought. But look, there is no doubt that Jed Hoyer and Theo Epstein got John Lester for moments like this. This is a game the Cubs have to win. And with John Lester on the hill, that's why he's here, to win big games.
Well, both of our teams here in Chicago, our Sox and their Cubs, certainly are very strong in the front office. Both teams are. Yolmer hitting at .248, 8 homers, 52 knocked in. Big gap in left center field. And that's deep in the hole. He's got a gun. Oh, look at this.
Well, he gets saved by the screen because it's a base hit. Would have been base hit E6, instead just base hit as he airmails Rizzo at first base.
He control.
Oh, he's got a very strong arm, man. When he plants it, usually it goes where he'd like it to go. Not this time. So they're going to give him second base. Apparently it hit the camera as it bounced up.
It'll be hitting an arrow then.
It is single E6. Joe Maddon's going out there and saying, hey, it looked like it bounced off the front of the screen to me. Now he's asking if they saw it.
Brian Butterfield.
Brian Butterfield's a good one.
He's
been a good coach for a long time.
He's a great baseball guy.
Yep.
I was talking with Brian before the game. Great baseball guy and a great person. I've known Brian a long time. They've got a heck of a coaching staff. Got one of the better hitting coaches in the game, Chili Davis. Here's Avi. And that's off the foot. And let's check out our picks to click tonight. There you see fans. Adamingo. Johan Moncada with the crew. Steve with Ryan Lamar. That number is wrong because Steve's got at least a few.
Been a tough year. I've been struggling this year in the pick six.
No, you've got a few that the mayor's not giving you. Mean Joe. Oh, he tells me Price Waterhouse said those numbers are right, and you know what you can do with that, Mayor. Come on, Avi, pick him up. Yeah, so you better have a plan when you're facing a veteran, a good veteran like Lester. You go up there looking for the ball off him, and you're going to go 0 for 4.
Our 50-50 raffle, the current jackpot, $68,000. $68,812,000, and you have till the end of the 6th inning to play our 50-50 raffle. Make yourself a lot of money just by sitting at home.
Yeah, but how about us at the ballpark? How about the employees? How about us?
We're fine.
Can we put on it? Can we bet on it?
Well, yeah, but
they don't pay you?
Oh, absolutely. Just put my name down on your ticket, and everything will be fine.
I know it.
You got a lot of luck.
It's that old saying. About the old guy who prays to the good Lord. Lord, let me win this. Let me win this lottery. Let me win this lottery. And finally, the good Lord yells down to him, well, you got to buy a ticket.
And that's it.
One and two the count, one out. Bottom of the first if you're just tuning in. 2-0 Cubs. 2-run homer by Avi Baez. Another good stop right there by Contreras. Back up the middle, get through. It will. So Yolmer's going to score on the RBI single by Avi, and it's a 2-1 ball game.
That one just barely snuck up the middle, just over Lester, just by Murphy and Baez. No chance for anybody to get to this. And as it finds its way into center field, Yolmer, courtesy of a base hit, E6, scores easily. And that cuts the lead in half. Now Matt with no mustache whatsoever. So he's come full circle with facial hair.
Breaking ball misses. Matt at 238, 20 homers and 60 knocked in. He was 2 for 4 yesterday with 2 runs scored and an RBI. Got in on him. Good pitch by Lester.
Tonight only, there's a guaranteed 50-50 raffle jackpot of at least $50,000. We know it's already past $68,000. You can play along. with an online ticket purchase at whitesox.com/SoxSplit. Be sure to enter the Sox Split raffle presented by Wintrust before sales end the bottom of the 6th inning tonight. Remember, fans, you've got to be in it to win it. And Hawk said that technicality, you got to actually buy a ticket to win this, which is somewhat surprising to me, but the rules are the rules. Right now, over $72,000 in that jackpot.
I'd love to put a few dollars into that thing.
I'll tell you what, you give me a couple and I'll put them in for you.
Which one of these is for you?
I think we went through that last night, but thank you anyway.
Wellington. He was 3 for 5 yesterday.
A little tardy on that one, looking for something else. He got a cutter on the outside corner, and a major league hitter's not going to be late on 82 unless he's really guessing.
Or unless you're trying to cover the whole plate.
Yeah, and that he was looking away, and that one cut the outside corner.
Those backdoor breaking balls, you're not going to make a living off those anyway. That's where, when you're facing a good major league pitcher, that's the reason he makes a lot of money. What did he sign for? $190 million?
No, I think he got 135, something along those lines. But as I said, they accelerated their program because Theo Epstein, Jed Hoyer knew that John Lester was the guy to pitch big games late in the season. If you look at his above 500, you realize why. And they went out and got him because he was available 1 year before they thought things were going to go well for them.
Oh, nice pick. Nice play by Baez. Boy, you're talking about some talent. Whoa. But we get a run, and we'll go to the second, trailing by 1. Jason Hayward to lead it off. Little soft comebacker.
Hey, Sox fans, join Yomer Sanchez, Tim Anderson, Nicky Delmonico, Ron Kittle, and others on December 9th for Sox on the Beach with Apple Vacations. Stay 7 nights at the all-inclusive Ibero Star Paraiso Lindo in beautiful Riviera Maya, Mexico. It's going to be a private welcome party, an autograph session, food and drink, and special group activities with your White Sox hosts. Visit applevacations.com/White Sox to book your trip today.
So here's Wilson Contreras. Contreras at 257, 9 homers, 52 knocked in. Boy, he had a hot streak a few months ago that you couldn't get him out.
Against us, I mean, he was all everything when we saw him at Wrigley Field, and he just cooled off. But a multi-talented, very athletic catcher.
Nomer, nice pick, peg, play.
Been just a wonderful year for Yomer. His defense has been wonderful. The offense, both sides of the plate, has been consistent. It started out, he was red hot, but playing every day, which is something he hasn't done in the major leagues. He's cooled off somewhat, but he gives you good at-bats and a wonderful defense on a daily basis.
And he's one of the best teammates you could ever have.
Yeah, he keeps things very loose, and I know the guys love to play alongside him.
Well, that's J.J. Shearer and David Novak. George Jacobs picked to click. And as here's Kyle Schwarber.
Schwarber's had some back issues. He's very similar to Daniel Polka. They both swing it very hard. They both swing it a lot, and they both hit the ball a long way.
This guy right here, Schwarber's got a huge upside. If he ever learns how to get an approach. And I think that's exactly what Chili Davis is going to try to do with it. Instead of thinking mechanics. One thing about hitting, you got to let your thoughts dictate your mechanics, not your mechanics dictate your thoughts.
There's a man that's going to instill that in Kyle Schwarber, Chili Davis.
Pretty good hitter himself.
Charles could swing it from both sides of the plate.
He could hit. Chili, what do you have, over 300 home runs?
Came up with the Giants and was a very good player. Lucas wants to break out a straight change again. Good time for it. Looks like a fastball, however.
He gone. And that'll retire to the side. We go to the bottom of the second, trailing 2-1.
Ken Harrelson's memorable calls on WGN.
Ursa Snellings, and there goes number 400. But Big Frank, you can put it on the board. Yes! The 36th player in Major League history to hit 400 homers. The Big Hurt.
And Huck, what is your favorite recollection of the Big Hurt, Frank Thomas?
You know, when people, he's the most asked about, to me, White Sox player, you know, we've had. And the first thing I tell people, two things. I said, there's not a bad bone in his body, and he played hurt. There's a shot, base hit. But I tell you, his first 7 years, Big Frank was the best right-handed hitter I ever saw. I mean, he's in that category with 4 other guys. There's 5 in this category. That's home runs, batting average, RBIs, walks, runs scored. You know who the other 4 are? Lou Gehrig, Mel Ott, Ted Williams, and Babe Ruth. And all 4 of those are left-handed hitters.
I was going to say, all left-hand hitters and Big Frank.
Only right-handed hitter in that category. And the thing about it is that back in those days, when the other 4 were playing, major leagues were dominated with right-handed pitching. So they had a lot more shots than Big Frank did at it.
We talked about Yuan in the open and talked about the fact that he's really starting to swing the bat from the right side. He's hitting in the neighborhood of 400 the last 12 games as a right-hand hitter.
They go for the force. Can't get it at first. So good speed aboard.
Nice play by Bodie, but he couldn't get the double play. Number 1, Yuan runs too quickly, and number 2 was a slowly hit ball.
The Big Hurt. Some kind of, the only thing he couldn't do on a baseball field, he could run. I remember that triple, his first hit at County Stadium in Milwaukee. I looked at Wimpy and I said, Wimpy, did you see what I saw? And he saw the same thing. He said, yeah, that big man can move it. I said, that's right. He couldn't throw. And I was thinking driving into the park today, for some reason, Hurt popped into my mind. And I was thinking about the home run that Palka hit yesterday. Got out of the park just about as quick as you can get one out. But one of the hardest hit balls I've ever seen was that home run he hit off the facade of the upper deck in Oakland. That ball was, I've never seen a ball hit harder than that. And I'm talking about, I've seen Big Frank Howard and Mantle and all of those monsters, Stargell, McCovey. I've never seen a ball hit harder than that. That's fouled back. Look at that.
$103,000.
You got to win the 6th inning, is it?
We got plenty of time left. End of the bottom of the 6th inning. It ends.
Two-one Cubs on top here in the bottom of the 2nd, if you're just tuning in.
Outfield shading him toward right center field. There is a gap in left center for Lamar.
Checks it up.
Got a full count. Let's see if Moncada is running. Rizzo comes well off the line, which is what
he should be out of there. He should be running. Lester doesn't like to throw over the first very often.
Nope.
He's not. And that ball hit. Get over his head. It won't.
Nice play by Zobrist, who can play everywhere and play very well regardless of where Joe Madden puts him. Is one of the reasons why they brought him in as a free agent, giving Joe a safety net. Wherever there's a hole, wherever he needs a real dependable, not only defender, but a guy can swing the bat from both sides. That's Ben Zobrist.
Yeah, very seldom is Lester going to go over to first base.
No, and what he started to do, and I think Jim Hickey was instrumental in this, is when he does field the butt, which is rare, but when he does, he throws it on 1 hop or 2 hops to first base, which took a whole lot of pressure off him, and now he's able to actually do it. He doesn't do it very much, but he can do it.
He's safe. Wow, pitch. Jim Hickey, as we talked about yesterday, 2 outstanding pitching coaches in this game. There's Jim, and of course our guy, Coop.
That is a wild pitch, so Moncada in scoring position. It was right in the Sox dugout, so hopefully everybody's okay.
One and 2 the count with 2 down. Come on, Adam. Pick him up. Make that wild pitch hurt. Adam at 237, 6 homers, 28 knocked down. Yes, he did. And that'll do it. We'll go to the 3rd, trailing by a run.
Triple play. Text Subway to 97999 and the 300th texter wins a $30 gift card. Subway, so much sandwich.
Here's David Bote. Boat. Spelled B-O-T-E, pronounced like B-O-A-T.
He's gotten some big hits.
Bote.
Yeah, he's gotten some big hits for the Cubs second half of the season. Went through a slump, but seems to be breaking out.
He gone. The old equalizer.
Good breaking ball, and Lucas couldn't find the zone with that for probably the first 2 months of the season. When he can get it near the plate, it's a really good curveball. Last year, 7 performances late in the season, an ERA in the 230, and that curveball was a big weapon for him. And this year, just lost the feel for it. Now it's come back.
Here's Murphy. He hit a rocket to Moncada. A line shot right to Yohan. Lead off the ball game.
Sox fans, we're giving back to you on Wednesday, September 26th for Fan Appreciation Night as the Sox take on the Indians at 7:10 for the last home game of the season. You're going to have a chance to win a variety of prizes. Plus, stick around for the post-game fireworks show. Get your tickets at whitesox.com today.
Two-one pitch. I tell you, this guy looks. I remember watching him when he was with Mets. He looks like he has got real good recognition early of the pitch. Slaps that one into left field. Keeps his hands back very nicely.
That's the one thing Murphy's been able to do really since he came in the league was swing the bat. He can do that, and that's one of the reasons, despite the fact that these days, at least, because of leg injuries and a number of other injuries, doesn't have the same range in the field as he once did, and will come out of the ball game if they're leading late. However, he swings it.
Here's Zobrist. Takes first pitch strike. He singled back in the first inning and scored.
Since the 2-run homer by Baez, 7 in a row retired by Lucas.
Playing him perfectly. I tell you, that jackpot's got a chance to maybe hit 200,000.
Yes, sir.
All right, that'll return to the side. 1, 2, 3, nice inning for Giolito.
WGNTV.com, presented by Nationwide's Jeff Vukovich. Go to jeffvuk.com or follow him on social media because Nationwide is on your side.
A 2-1 Cub lead here in our half of the third inning. So here is Tim. Struck out. First at bat. Chops that one foul.
I'm going to ask you two questions, part and parcel of one another. Number one, who's the best player you ever played with?
Oh, Yastrzemski.
By far or?
By far.
Now, who's the best player you ever saw?
I think it's just like pitchers. I think you got to categorize that question. People say, who's the best pitcher you faced? Well, you got to say right-hander, left-hander. You know, I always categorize the best player that I ever saw. The most talented player was Mickey Mantle.
Okay.
And I would say the best player that I ever saw were a few guys. Al Kaline was one of them. He was a wonderful player. That ball. Stay fair. It will. You can put it on the board. Yes.
That's number 20.
20.
Line drive down the line. The only question, would it stay fair long enough? It's only 3:30 down the line. This one hugged the line the whole way with Chad Whitson on the call, and that one stayed inside the pole. This game's tied at 2. We'll take another look. Lester tries to get inside, and Tim drops the head on it, drops the bat, takes a look to see, and yes, indeed, home run. If the ball disappears from your line of sight as it goes down the line, it's a home run. If you can see it all the way, it's going to hook in front of the pole.
So here's Yolmer. He singled and scored back in the first inning. But I got to put the best two players that I've ever seen. I didn't play that much against Willie Mays, just in spring training. And my favorite player to watch, there's a shot, was George Brett. And the best second baseman I ever saw was Roberto Alomar.
Yeah, he was, I mean, between Vizquel and him, they put on a defensive clinic every night. And it was a remarkable run with the Indians those, what, 3.5 years?
I'll tell you what, it was unbelievable. You know what? It was, from a baseball standpoint, it was just a beautiful thing to see. Because I love defense, as you well know. And I love to see great defense everywhere, but especially up the middle. And those two guys were just absolutely fun to watch.
Well, that brings up another question about a guy who is up the middle, only a little farther back than the middle. Do you believe that Mike Trout has a chance to get on the all-time greatest player list for a number of people by the time his career is over?
No question about it.
He's got that much skill?
I think Bryce Harper's in the same category. Avi knocked in Sanchez with an RBI single. There's so many good players today. And, of course, they have to do it over the course of a period of time to get in the category that we're talking about. But Mike Trout and Bryce Harper, I mean, those two guys, they can do it all. They can do it all. And you see, you know, Clemente was a great player. I had the pleasure of playing against him quite a few times in spring training over the years. And people don't understand how strong he was. he could hit it. He could hit as far as anybody.
You know, having faced him, he did something that you talk about all the time. You would look into the plate. You could hardly see the hitter because he was so far back in the batter's box and so far away from the plate that it looked like the outside corner was just sitting there illuminated here. throw it here, pretty much, he was saying. And then when you did, he crushed it against the right field wall.
Well, I tell you, that was his style.
I mean, he was forcing you essentially, because when you looked inside, well, he can get to that without even striding. And he said, okay, I got to stay away from him. Then you went away. He wanted it there. That's why he stood so far back and away. So you're saying, you always said that a hitter can make a pitcher pretty much do what he wants by where he stands.
Exactly. I saw him in Bradenton, the old ballpark in Bradenton, in the spring training. John O'Donohue was pitching for us, a left-hander. Not a hard thrower, but pretty good pitcher. Wind was blowing 440 to center field with about a 25-foot batter's eye out there in the background. Wind was blowing in probably 25, 30 miles an hour. He's in Clemente used a 36-36 U1. That was a big bottle and big handle bat. He threw him a high, slow curveball, and he tomahawked it, and I'll never forget this. He hit it 20 feet over the flagpole as that's knocked down by Lester, and throws him out. Nice play by John, but that's one of the hardest hit balls I've ever seen too.
John Lester knocks it down, and then he does throw it in the dirt. And it was a tougher play than Anthony Rizzo probably intended, because when Lester tried to throw it in the dirt, he was probably thinking about the grass. Then it would skip to him easily. As it was, he got him out, which is the object.
In fact, talking about Yastrzemski, Kaline and I were talking last year in Detroit, and Al told me we were talking about Yaz. And he told me, he said Yaz was the greatest player he ever played against. And that's something comes from Kaline. Al Kaline had over 3,000 hits, and he had 399 home runs, and he never hit 30 in a year. I saw Yaz get his 400th home run and his 3,000th hit. He was the first American leaguer to do that. And to this day, I have never seen a better left fielder. But George Brett played the game the way Renteria is going to have our guys playing the game. Every time George hit a single, to him it was a double until he saw it was not.
Basically, that's what we've seen this year.
Exactly.
I mean, our guys are running really hard on everything.
And when he hit a gapper, looked like it was going to be a double, he thought it was a triple until he saw it was not. Murphy makes the catch, but the home run by Tim Anderson, his 20th of the year.
And here's a look back at one of Ken Harrelson's memorable calls, and it's one of his favorite places.
That ball hit deep. Stretch. Get out back there. You can put it on the ball. Yes, and this game is tied at 2. And that's popped up, and when this ball comes down, this game is over. Sox win. What a comeback. That's why they call it baseball.
Last game at the Metrodome.
I told them I would give them $10,000 if they would let me push the button to blow that, you know what, up.
I do. I think you probably give more than that.
I'll tell you what, that was the worst. But right here, Tim Anderson's 20th homer, and he's the first shortstop in White Sox history to have 20 homers and 20 stolen bases.
It's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. He hadn't even scratched the surface.
I was going to say, what a career lies ahead for the man you're just looking at.
Oh, nice play by Matty. There you go. Take it yourself.
Little lack of communication, but eventually Matt Davidson steps on the bag, and Lucas, Matt, and Javi Baez got to the same place approximately the same time. This is a fine play.
That's a beautiful play by, that ball was a Skinner.
He got him, but not by much.
No. The Baez now 1 for 2, that 2-run homer back in the first inning. A rocket did not look like it was going to get out of here, and it just did not come down. Here's Rizzo. He popped up to Yolmer. I remember that game in Detroit where Paulie and Jermaine Dye went back-to-back for consecutive 300th homers. That'll never be done again.
Nope.
Back-to-back consecutive 300 homers.
152. I think you're going to be a little light at 200,000, by the way. It's at 152, 613. With a while to go yet.
Oh, yeah. You got to the bottom of the 6th. When the 6th inning is over, the balloting is over.
And then one lucky fan is going to take home a lot of money.
You get better odds at that than you do at the lottery.
Yes, you do.
A lot better. There's a strike. 2-2. That's the first time I saw a picture of a guy who's always going to be in my heart on that last shot we had of the last game at the Metrodome. He gone.
And that was Joe Nathan threw the ball.
Bobby Jenks.
Bobby Jenks, indeed.
Yeah, I'll always have a place in all the White Sox fans' heart. In 05, he started off with Shingo DeCosta was the closer. He went down. Dustin Hermanson comes on and gets 34 quick saves. His back gives out. And Kenny and Ozzie had stones enough to bring up a kid from Double-A in the midst of a pennant race like that and make him the closer. We were the only team in baseball history to have 3 closers and win a world championship.
Now that, to me, that's the most amazing part of that season. In a season where there were a lot of things amazing, including the 4 complete games. But the fact that 3 bona fide, distinct, different closers for the same team in the same year turned into a World Series win.
Bobby, I tell you what a job he did. He came out and pitched like he had been here for 5 years. He wasn't afraid of anybody who walked into that batter's box. Ate him up. Can he get there? No. There's a Kansas City special right there by Chris Bryant.
Time for the Volkswagen replay. Visit your local Volkswagen store or VWDealer.com. And this is a broken bat, little looper. And with the shift on, Moncada cannot make the play. Long way to go for it. And that time the shift did not do the Sox any favors. Lucas knows he made a perfect pitch. Not much he could do about that. The inning stays alive.
Here's Jason Hayward. Did a comebacker to Giolito. Takes first pitch strike. Yeah, that 05, outside of my playing career, when we went to the World Series in '67 when I was playing for the Red Sox, that 05 season is my all-time favorite season. Something special.
A lot of thrills that year.
Oh, boy. When you say 4 consecutive complete games, Jose Canchera started that first game against the Angels. He went 8 1/3. Neil Kotz came on, threw 6 pitches, got the final 2 outs. Burley started the second game. He went 9 and we won. Garland started the third game. He went 9. We won. Freddie Garcia started the next game. He went 9. We won. And then Contreras started the last game, went 9 and we won. So for 6 pitches, it would have been 5 consecutive complete games.
Well, you won't see that. There's a lot of things you won't see, but that's one of them.
Not as long as you're behind point south, you will never see.
No.
Bit of a gap out there in left center.
That one saw the end of the bat go flying. Hayward left with not much left.
In fact, the first game of that series, we lost that game 3-1 to the Angels. That's the only game we lost in postseason play. We went 11-1 in the postseason. We swept Boston, and the Angels, who have been crisscrossing the country to makeup games, came in here, beat us in that first game, and then the rest was history with the Astros. That's off the end of the bat as well. Yes! What a play by Timmy Marcy. Wow! We'll take another look at that one as we go to break.
Our Danley's defensive play is the last play, and for a couple different reasons. Number one, Yolmer gets a piece of this ball.
Just barely.
Dives across, barely hits the glove. So it's going to go 5-6-3. But then Tim makes just a miraculous play, gets it there with a left-hand hitter So going down the line from the left side, Hayward with pretty decent speed. Can't beat it. Nice pick by Davidson. When you think of garages, think Danley's.
See, what's happening right now with Tim Anderson has been one of my great joys in the game of baseball. Being in it almost 60 years, come January 1st of 2020, all the parts of 8 decades, is seeing young talent come up. Because last year and the first part of this year, he was not a good shortstop.
No, this is really a remarkable transition for him.
And to see him grow the way he is right now, I'll tell you, that's been one of my big joys.
Talking to Tim about it, he said the key, and Joe McEwing is certainly one of the keys, and he mentions him, but the key is confidence. He said he believes now there isn't a play on the field he can't make.
And with his ability and athleticism, he's right.
So when he goes after something now, it's with a great deal of assurance, and he's got a very strong arm. He can throw off balance with the best of them, and now he makes every play.
I don't know what you talked the other day. I don't know if I've ever seen a guy who's as fast as Tim go as fast to his right in a hole and get as much on the throw to first base as he does.
No, it's been a remarkable season, all things considered. And you know, look, I thought when the season started he hit 25 home runs. I told him that, so the 20 home runs doesn't surprise me. The growth defensively is remarkable. I haven't seen it, and
I haven't either.
You know, he was a nice player before. He's become a spectacular shortstop.
Well, I'll tell you what, we've got some great shortstops in there. That kid in Cleveland.
Lindor's terrific. Correa's terrific.
Well, as I said before,
Simmons from the Angels, terrific.
There's the best shortstop that I played against in my time zone was Louis Aparicio. We got 5 shortstops in the American League better than Louis was.
Well, first of all, most of them are twice as big. That's number one.
That's what I'm talking about. There's a shot. Attaboy. Wellington.
Looked like a high change, and he got it right back up the middle and took it into center field. So a promising start to the bottom of the 4th inning.
I'll tell you one thing about Tim Anderson. If he keeps growing the way he is now and gains that confidence, you can see it. You can see it in him. You can see him growing with him. When we get all our stuff together and those kids come up and put that team on the field, Tim Anderson got a chance to be an MVP. Because he's going to hit more than 20 home runs. I said same thing. I said he's going to hit 25 to 30 home runs.
And there's no doubt. I mean, he's got that kind of strength, and he's got it to all fields, which is great.
So here's Kevin. Good pitch by Lester. Get out of here. It will. Yeah, Tim Anderson's got MVP type talent, as does Lindor. Having a big 3-run homer yesterday. Wow. He was our offensive hero. And Ronaldo Lopez was our defensive hero. Pitching, with pitching being the first line of defense.
Hey, Sox fans, each run driven home this season, Uber has made a generous donation to Chicago White Sox charities. Uber, the official rideshare provider of the Chicago White Sox and proud sponsor of Chicago White Sox charities. Use Uber code GOSOX18 for $15 off your first Uber ride.
Big gap in left center. Well, We touched on it before. We touched on it yesterday, as a matter of fact. Good job that Joe McEwing has done with Anderson. Joe has earned every penny that they're paying him.
Yes, sir.
Just for that job.
Kevin's had a wonderful start to this series. He was 2 for 2 yesterday before being lifted for a pinch hitter. It was that spot where Daniel Polka hit his 2-run homer. But he started out with a base hit tonight, so 3 for 3 in the very short series so far for Kevin Smith.
Top foul. Well, you know, the irony of this, one of the ironies of this two clubs meeting is Theo Epstein and Jed Hoyer. They let Renteria, they hired Renteria to be the manager. They let him go because they hired Joe Madden. It just goes to show you, they hired two of the best managers in the game. And here they are on both sides of town.
Kevin gets rung up on a ball that was off the plate. But Mark Ripperger liked it enough. We'll watch it again. Contreras is off the plate outside. But he's set up perfectly and buys the strike from Ripperger.
So Lester catches a break right there. That would have been 2 on, nobody out. One thing about it, though, you see a lot of guys today, and that's one of the reasons there are so many strikeouts throughout the major leagues. With 2 strikes, you're leaving it into the hands of the umpire. And when you take that pitch was off the plate, and I thought it was down just a hair as well as did Contreras when he pulled it up.
Yep.
But when you get a pitch that's close with 2 strikes, you got to be hacking. We used to talk about that in my time zone all the time. Ted Williams always told me, he says, you cannot leave 2 strikes in the hands of the umpire. That doesn't mean you got to swing at every two-strike pitch. He turned and burned on that one.
Tried to cut that one in on his hands. He couldn't get it there, but Yohan got out a little too quickly on it and yanked it foul.
So full count with 1 out.
That was a cutter right down the middle. Lester goes to the cutter, which is his favorite pitch. That's the one he feels he can control always, and as a good part of the plate, Yohan takes the seat.
So here's Ryan Lamar. He lined out to right field. That's what we were talking about in the first inning. You cannot control the plate off John Lester. You can't cover the whole plate. You got to give him one side, and you choose what side you want, and then you got to adjust about where you stand in that box to make that change. That old saying, with good pitchers, you got to get them early. If you don't get, you got to get them early in the count and early in the game. If they hit their rhythm, you're in trouble. And the other thing is, you cannot, the better the pitcher, the less of the plate you can cover.
Three curves in a row from Lester, the third of which was off the plate. First two were very good.
High pop-up Rizzo. And we'll go to the fifth. Tied at 2.
Memorable calls on WGN involving a guy that he knows pretty well.
That ball hit deep. Stretch. Way back. He looks up. You can put it on the board. Yes! A 2-run homer by A.J. Pierzynski, his 10th. And the Sox come up with 4 runs here in the bottom of the 9th inning. And they win it 5-3.
That was one of the big hits of that season. They're always defining days, defining games, and some defining hits throughout the course of a season, especially if you're going to go to postseason. And that comeback right there, I'll tell you what, that 05 team, one of the things people don't know, most people don't know about AJ too, and Aaron Rowan. Spring training, AJ said, Hawk, look what A-Row and I are going to do with Joe Creedy.
Okay.
Joe Creedy was a very quiet, introverted type guy. I was able to get over there. Missed the bag, I guess, he says.
Well, look, this shows the inexperience of Matt Davidson, only in that he came off the bag so far, it forced a very difficult play. Now, Lucas thinks he caught the bag with his heel. Let's hope that that's the case. But Matt came way, way off the line, and Yuan is standing pretty much right behind him.
What does that remind you of?
Reminds me of
Galarraga?
Miguel Cabrera, Galarraga. Some guys that stray off the bag a bit.
Well, actually, Doug Innings was not in real good position to make that, as far as seeing the heel.
His heel's right in the middle of the
right
bag.
there.
He's out, and he's out easily.
Yeah.
I mean, that wasn't really all
well,
that
Innings
close.
was out of position.
Yeah.
When he started, but you called it perfectly, because Miguel Cabrera costing Galarraga a perfect game.
Yeah. And that by straying too far to the right.
And this, I forget who was playing second base. He was standing to like Mercado right in front of it. I played with the guy.
He is out, and we saw that he was. So Turns out to be a very good play. Didn't take long to reverse it. And it's a 3-1 putout.
As a runner, at first you got to check your outfielders every pitch to see where they are. As a defensive player, pitchers, you got to check and know where your shortstop and your second baseman are so that you don't have to make a stab and maybe knock one down or deflect it when it'd be an easy play for the shortstop or the second baseman. Schwarber singles into left.
That makes that first play even bigger.
Yeah, it does. I'll tell you what, you guys in that Baltimore pitching staff, that was the smartest defensive pitching staff I've ever seen. Unlike Detroit in that World Series.
Well, that cost them the World Series.
Sure
the
it did.
They didn't have a pitcher who could field the ball.
But you never saw one of the Baltimore pitchers make a mistake like that.
Nope. We're up to knocking at the door of $200,000. And we still have this whole inning, next whole inning to go.
David Bodie struck out on a good Giolito curveball. If you're just joining us, 2-run homer by Baez in the first. We scored 1 in the first, and then Tim Anderson's 20th homer. And that's where we stand, tied at 2. That's trouble. Another Kansas City special.
That's how you win. You can buy them online if you're sitting watching us on a television anywhere.
Well, it's just like the good Lord told Izzy. Izzy, buy a ticket. You can't win unless you play.
Boy, they've flown by that guaranteed $50,000, haven't they?
I don't blame them. If I was home watching this, I'd be on the horn too.
Yeah.
Here's a dangerous cookie right here, Daniel Murphy. That ball into left field. Watch out. Wow.
You can't get much unluckier than Lucas Giolito this inning. Ryan Lamar ran in, the ball went over his head. We'll watch it again. He just gets trapped, comes in 4 steps and can't get high enough.
Wow. Well, that's why the first rule is you got to catch the ball. If you don't catch the ball, you're probably going to get beat. Here's Zobrist. That's why they got to have team errors.
That makes sense to me.
Got to have team errors. I mean, if there's anybody on the field that catches a bad break because of scoring, it's pitchers. That has got to be an error. Corners in close. Zobrist. right, cinch it up and hunker down, Lucas. Back through the middle, base hit. That's going to score a pair. You got to catch the ball.
Can't give a good team more than the 27 outs. Every time you do, they will storm through the door. That's what happened. This is a hanging breaking ball, not hit all that hard, but hit in the perfect spot as Zobrist goes back up the middle. Drives home a pair. He's got 57 of them.
All right, guys, you got to forget about it. That's history. And that's what Coop's telling them.
Time now for StatCast AI, powered by AWS. And it was the home run in the first inning that made it 2-0 at the time. Just barely over Lamar's head. And gone. That for Baez was his 34th of the year as he comes up again.
Here's Baez. So 3 gift runs so far here in the 5th. But we got plenty of time.
It's a very dangerous pitch to a very good hitter.
And of course, there's nobody in this ballpark that feels worse about that than that man right there.
No doubt about it.
That's why you got to have a short memory in this game. There's a strike. Baez didn't care for it. Another one.
And Baez complaining about both. First one was probably out of the zone. That one had a little piece of the zone, although he doesn't like to call him Mark Ripperger.
So 2 out and 2-2 the count.
Now he had one that had the whole plate and didn't get the call, so things even out. Anthony Rizzo in the on-deck circle.
We got ourselves a full house here tonight. Diaz is one of the few guys in this league that uses the scissors. The scissor kick. That's when that right leg. Altuve is probably the poster child in this league for doing it. The big hurt Frank Thomas was great at that too, and we'll show you in a minute what we're talking about. That's when the right leg goes back in the stride. This was that swing I was talking about. Watch this back leg. It goes back towards the third base dugout. That is the best way in the world to keep your head on the ball. Because if it comes forward, your head's going to move off of it. Here's Rizzo. Altuve really does that extremely well.
He is some player, and when he was gone from that Houston lineup, above all others, they missed him the most.
Oh, sure. That's in the dirt.
And there goes a wild pitch. That's double figures. That's 10 of them for Lucas.
As good as Correa is on that Houston club, he's by far the most valuable players, Altuve.
Yes, sir. That one high up on the chest protector, bounds away. Nothing Kevin could do with that.
So he's on. That's the first walk issued by Lucas. Intentional walk. And here's Chris Bryant. He's 1 for 2. Single last inning. He jammed himself right there.
Good soft breaking ball there. Had Bryant well out in front. They're bearing down on it now. It's 230,000.
Well, with an inning and a half to go.
Yep.
That's unbelievable.
Pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Christine O'Reilly Reardon, I tell you what, she can come up with some great things, boy. Had a shot if he had the double clutch.
Yeah, and he got rid of it quickly, and I'm not sure Yolmer was there. If Yolmer was there, he probably would have had it. Let's take another look. Ball does get away, and this is not a good base running play by Zobrist, who hesitates.
Yeah, Yolmer got there.
Yolmer got there, but Kevin could not release the baseball. So the throw to the outside part of the bag, and Zobrist is in at third. Runners at the corners with 2 outs.
And 2-2 the count. It's off his foot. Count hangs at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Outfield for the most part straight up. Bit of a gap out there in right center. He gone, but 3 gift runs right there, and they lead us 5-2.
Sponsored by UI Health, providing expert care for you and your family. UI Health, changing medicine for good. Learn more at uihealth.care.
Adam Engel, 0 for 1, a strikeout, takes strike 1. 5-2 Cubs. Come on, guys, got to just forget about that inning and start after this big left-hander right here. One and 2.
It's number 87 on the way for Lester.
Gap out there in left center. And there's a little flare, and that's going to fall for a base hit. So a good way to start.
It's our fourth drive of the game, and it's the home run off the bat of Tim Anderson, his 20th. 104.7 miles per hour. 23-degree launch angle, a line drive that went out of the park in a hurry. So visit your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com.
First shortstop in franchise history with 20 home runs and 20 or more stolen bases. He hadn't even scratched the surface yet. Pretty good lead by Adam.
The thing you want to avoid with Lester, and this is what a lot of teams do, is they know he's not going to throw over there. If he does, maybe once or twice a year, that's it. But they get a real big lead, and then they're going back to the bag as he's delivering the ball, which negates your big lead in the first place. You're better off with a normal lead and moving at least towards second.
And another way to get after this guy who's 77 games, over 500, is bunt.
So far, nobody's done it.
Make him handle the ball. Good lead right there by Adam. Rack him up. No, he couldn't pick it. Adam got down there in a hurry.
Well, let's hope that door opening comes back to haunt the Cubs, because it should have been 2. It wasn't. Off balance throw. That coming by Baez, and then Murphy gets overturned at second base on the slide. It got to him a little late.
Adam slides what caused the bad throw.
Yeah.
So here's Yolmer. He singled and scored in the first. He's 1 for 2. Yeah, you got Bodie playing back at third.
$260,741.
There you go. All you got to do is get it past Lester on either side, and it's a base hit.
Contreras loves to throw, and he will, in any situation, go behind the base runner.
That's in the right field, and that's a can of corn. The Zobrists. Avi's 1 for 2. He knocked in Sanchez with a single back in the first inning.
Tim started to go, then checked it up, and then Contreras went behind him again. Go to the back of the bag when you're trying to avoid a tag, and that's what Tim did. Makes that tag have to go much longer.
That one at 90 miles an hour. He got one more inning after this one. to get in on that jackpot, approaching $300,000.
Might go up another to 4 before it's over.
And there's a base hit. So 10 into third. 2 out runners at the corners.
Second base hit for Avi. He's now 2 for 3. And Tim was thinking about scoring. Now Nick Capra held him up because the play was clean. But if there's any bobble at all, he's going to be able to score. He's taking a look now, wants to make sure. Picks up Nick Capra. Nick says, break it down here.
And here's Davidson. He's gone out to center and popped up to second. Don't stop now, boys. Come on, Matty. Take him into the right field bleachers. 2-0. You got the catbird seat.
There's still a few select upcoming games to take advantage of our Bleachers and Brews. You get 1 bleacher seat and 2 beers for just $22. Must be 21 and over with a valid ID. Bleachers and Brews is presented by Budweiser. To purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/brews.
I think going forward, Stoney, we're going to see some more of these lottery type.
I would think it would be beneficial to White Sox charities as well as making somebody very happy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We're going to see more of those in the future. And there's a base hit. Attaboy, Matty. It's a 5-3 ball game.
Top man number 61 for Matt Davidson. That's hit number 8 for the Sox against John Lester. The pitches are starting to pile up, and what you want to do with the Cubs especially is get into that bullpen.
Well, so far, you can credit that slide by Adam Engel.
Same way on both sides. Double plays not turned or plays not made give outs to major league teams. And the Cubs bullpen now is going to start to get loose. That's Carl Edwards Jr. He struggled recently despite having very good numbers. He's got an electric arm.
He does that.
So Mark Rippercher out there, and with that, Jim Hickey goes back to the dugout. Castillo with a chance to do some big damage.
Baez made a tremendous play on him to get him his first at bat. Then he singled, leading off last inning. Over the head, here comes Baez. Can he make the play? He can. And that'll retire the side, but we pick up 1 and we trail it by 2. Jason Hayward, Contreras, and Schwarber. Jason 0 for 2. He's bounced back to the pitcher. Then he grounded out 5-6-3 on a brilliant play by Tim Anderson. Takes a breaking ball strike. Oh, he got a cookie right there and missed it.
And when you see a roller coming up there, when it's not hit hard between the lines, you consider yourself very fortunate. Just kind of stays up on top. Fortunately, sliced foul.
Made a good pitch on him right there. Ate him up inside. He gone.
Good straight change, and that ends the Hayward at bat. Five strikeouts for Lucas. He had him way out in front.
That previous pitch sets that up. Fastball on the fist.
That'll do it. You get him concerned about anything up and in there. The changeup looks that much better.
Contreras is grounded to third and grounded out 3-1. If you're just tuning in, Lucas Giolito has been outstanding. Numbers, that's why numbers in baseball are so misleading. You look at a 5-3 ball game, you say he's not pitching very well.
Yeah, then you see how they got there and realize that he is throwing it pretty well. There's the total, but could very easily make a case for there to be 2 runs up there.
That's right. Should be a 3-2 ball game right now. Chops that one foul over by our camera crew. Jam-packed, guaranteed rate field tonight.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. And boy, I'll tell you, as you well know, you played for a lot of big crowds, as I have. A lot of times you come to the ballpark. I know when I was playing with the Red Sox, you come to the ballpark and you're not feeling that well, didn't get much sleep, couldn't sleep well. Maybe had some hemorrhoids or whatever. All of a sudden you walk out of that dugout and there's 38,000 right there with their arms wide open.
It really, I mean,
it changes you.
Even guys who have been around a long time, you're not immune to that feeling. It's very exciting.
Oh, it is. Gets the adrenaline flowing. Timmy. 2 down. So here's Schwarber.
309,000. And we have 1 out
5 outs to go.
And we have 5 outs to go. No, 4 outs to go. 1 out and 1 inning to go.
So Barber started off at 3-1. Fifth with a solid single to left field.
On base percentage for Schwarber is good at .354. When you get a slugger up in that area, it means he's taking his walks.
Boy, he got a cookie there and missed it. Thank goodness.
Fortunately, it was upstairs, out of the zone, but it came floating in, and he tried to jump on it.
Well, he's a game changer. If he's swinging, if he's seeing the ball well and he's got a nice approach, he becomes a game changer. No reason that he can't hit 40 or 50 home runs. Three and one. He had 30 last year. But only drove in 59. But his upside is huge. Just a second walk issue by Lucas. And here's Bodie. He's 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored. Kevin doing the right thing right here, starting to leave a few pitches up.
MLB At Bat is your #1 White Sox app. You can customize your experience to get White Sox home screen icons and features such as MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcast stats, news, and more. Download MLB At Bat today.
Short lead by Kyle. And that evens the count.
Caleb Frere throwing in the pen. He's coming in, if this inning stays alive, to Daniel Murphy, who's in the on-deck circle.
Playing him perfectly. And that'll retire the side. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. 2 things for you. First of all, we trail it by 2. Next is you only got 3 outs to get in on that money.
numbers. 138 driven in, scored 89, hit 38 home runs to go with a .272 batting average, 8 triples and 12 stolen bags. What happened to that speed? 140 games played, quite a year, all things considered. Some of the teammates Hawk had that year: Bert Campaneris, Lou Krause, Ted Kubiak, Tony La Russa, and Fred Norman. Fred had a good run with the Cincinnati Reds, a little screwball left-hander.
Freddie had the best move to this day I've ever seen to first base.
Carl Edwards Jr. comes into the game for the 55th time.
Breaking ball strike to Kevin. Another one fouled away, and very quickly the count 0-2.
John Lester went 5, gave up 3 runs, 8 hits, didn't walk anybody, and he fanned 4.
Softly hit, 3 hopper.
Two outs to go, and we're at $321,780.
Here's Moncada, 0 for 2. Yeah, Edwards can rush it up there.
He's had a great arm for a long time and very tough to square up. Everything he throws moves.
And the Indians, well, all they did. Cleveland becomes first team in MLB history to have 4 starting pitchers each record 200 or more strikeouts in a season.
It's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Well, they got a pretty good skipper there.
They do that, and
he's a Hall of Famer.
You know, Mickey Callaway did a great job when he was there. He's now the manager of the Mets. Carl Willis has done a nice job coming in and taking over from a really good pitching coach who got his break as a manager.
I'll tell you, you know, to me, as long as I've been in this game, the pitching coach today is more important than it's ever been. All right.
Ryan Lamar, I believe, is going to be called back. I don't think he's going to face Edwards, and in his place, well, it's a man with 4 pinch hit home runs this year.
Well, he's a phenomenon. And he's the kind of guy, he looks like he's the kind of guy that the more confidence he gets, he got a chance to be awesome. Awesome.
Well, right now, he's in a streak truly where when he's getting his pitch, he's just not missing it.
That's the secret to hitting. Getting a good pitch to hit and don't miss it.
5 for 15 as a pinch hitter with 4 home runs and 11 driven in. 11 runs batted in 15 at bats. It's unbelievable.
And he's got a tremendous personality. He's the kind of guy that can take over a town.
Talked about his pinch hitting. There it is.
Pulling off that one.
All-time Sox rookie home run leaders: Jose Abreu at 36, with Ron Kittle right behind him. Then Polka and Bonura, 1 ahead of Matt Davidson. That one down the middle, and Edwards pretty lucky got away with that. That's the last place you wanted the 0-2 pitch. He knows exactly that he made the mistake. But Daniel fouled it straight back. Cubs pen up and going. Jesse Chavez. Remember him? Pensman as well as a starter. He's with a starter for Oakland. He's been around. Found a home in the Cubs pen.
Two and two the count to Daniel.
Edwards' fastball, when he gets it inside to left-handers, looks exactly like a cutter, only it's 93-94. And there it was. He tried to sail it in on his hands, but this time, for the first time in the at-bat, Daniel checks it up, moving the count full. Look at the movement on this late.
Boy, that's wicked there. Oh, man.
It's 93-94.
Oh, you see the sail on that. There he goes. So 2 down.
So stolen base for Yuan. It gives him 12.
So here is Adam. He's 1 for 2 with a big slide preventing Murphy from turning a double play, led to a run for us.
One more out to go at $340,000, $308.
That one at 93. I think the most I've ever seen going around the parks that put that on there, you know, split pot, so to speak, is like 30,000.
Well, this was going to fly by it then.
Oh, yeah. I think they had one down in Houston when we were there last year, or year before, whenever it was, at 30,000. Got him. All right. The lottery, so to speak, is over, and we still trail it by 2.
off last night when he was here. So now it's time for the Ram upcoming schedule. Ram trucks built to serve, and it's the Cubs for one more tomorrow. Then the Indians come to town, and that is the final 3 games of this season. So Daniel Polka checks in the game in left field. Came on to pinch hit. Now he's there defensively.
Can you imagine somebody going up there to that moon and then coming back?
Nope. I can imagine somebody else. Just can't imagine me.
Me either. Well, what an American hero. He's done it twice. He landed on that thing twice.
Pretty amazing.
I remember where I was when the first time it happened. I was in Cleveland at that restaurant, seafood restaurant, right by the old municipal stadium.
I don't remember that. I remember which one.
They had the TV. Everybody in the restaurant was watching it, you know, because they had TVs going and everything.
I remember the theatrical grill.
Oh, been there a few times.
I bet.
All right, take your time. There you go. All right, 1 out. So Murphy is retired.
White Sox fans, don't let your setbacks limit you. Start your comeback today by visiting Athletico.com to request your complimentary injury screening. Have your pain or injury assessed by our experts for free. Athletico, the official physical therapy provider of the Chicago White Sox. Athletico, better for everybody.
So Daniel Murphy now 1 for 4 with an RBI, and here's Zobrist. He had a big 2-run single back in the 5th inning when they scored 3. Yeah, that's the first place as soon as we landed. Because when I played, we didn't land at Burke Field. We landed at regular airport.
Cleveland Hopkins?
Yeah. First place we headed for was the theatrical grill. Great steaks. And you can get them to 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
It was quite a place.
I remember going there one night, yes, and I went there to get a steak. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning. And there's only one other person in the place. He was sitting in the back where it was dark back there, so you couldn't see who it was. So we're eating our steak, and all of a sudden, see this big guy get up, because that's into left field. Daniel's there for out number 2. So he comes walking over towards our table, and it was Sam McDowell. And he was pitching that night. And he was, I mean, snocker. He looks at me, and he don't even look at Yaz. He looks at me and he goes, Hawk, I'm going to blow your behind away 4 times tonight on nothing but fastballs. And I said, Sam, you better get your behind out of here. I'm in no mood for any of your stuff. He said, I'm telling you, 4 times tonight, nothing but fastballs. So he left. The game starts that night. First pitch he threw me was a fastball right here, and I hit it all the way out of the stadium foul about 20 feet. I killed it. Well, that was the last fastball I saw all night, and he struck me out 4 times.
It wasn't going to tip off the game plan, I don't think.
What stuff, Sam McDowell. Sudden Sam. Baez.
Sox fan. Hamilton and Frere. Frere up for the 2nd time. Ian Hamilton up for the 1st time.
Baez a 2-run homer, and it was a bullet. He hit it, and I thought it was just going to be a line shot right to left field, and it just did not come down. Just made it over the fence.
Been a historic year for Baez. The only player in Cub franchise history with at least 30 home runs, at least 35 doubles, at least 100 driven in, and at least 21 steals in 1 year. Javi Baez, that's why he will get a lot of votes for MVP.
And he's just 25 years old. Full count.
Pitch number 108 on the way.
Well, in my mind, as it should be in Lucas's mind, he's leading this ball game 3-2, and he's got a pitch like that.
Yeah, I think he probably feels pretty good about this outing tonight, despite the fact he is down on the scoreboard right now. Here comes Ricky Renteria. He's going to make a change, and with that, Lucas cannot win this one tonight. So he will depart, and as he does, so will we, and we'll be back. Long talk about this particular performance, and I'm pretty sure he was positive about Lucas's efforts tonight.
Well, I guarantee he told him what we were just talking about. He told him, look, Lucas, as far as I'm concerned, you're leading this ball game.
He threw it well, and now he gives way to Caleb Frere.
He was absolutely outstanding tonight.
Yes, he was. On for the 9th time, ERA of 9. 0-1 record. He inherits Bias at first base, who's probably thinking about stealing a bat.
Well, it's a two-way change here, because if it wasn't Rizzo at the plate, Giolito would still be out there as a right-handed hitter.
Yep, there's no doubt.
Want to know the count. Rizzo 0 for 2 with a walk, an intentional walk. Way out in front on that 84 mile an hour.
There's a hook, and he was well out in front.
Well, it was the pace that got him, because it was actually a good pitch to hit, except for the pace. And that's spins foul. So 2 out, 1 and 2 the count. There you see Rizzo going way up on the bat now with 2 strikes. And that is exactly the right approach.
And in another game where the Cubs have a whole lot of interest, Milwaukee losing 2-0 in the bottom of the 8th to Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. See him way up on that bat.
You got to go there, especially as there he goes. He had that base stolen, probably without a throw. But I told you, if there's one thing in my career, I'd go back and do it. It'd be 2 strikes. I'm going up on that bat an inch or 2. But my ego wouldn't let me do it.
I was gonna say you still get more control, and you can probably hit it as far.
You can hit it actually further because you got more speed. That ball into right field. We got a man there. Attaboy, Avi. 7th inning stretch. We need 2 to tie.
Back at one of Ken Harrelson's memorable calls about one of his favorite players.
And this ball game is official. We go to the bottom of the 5th, leading 1-0.
Mark Buehrle in the rain, his final White Sox win.
One of the greatest players and one of the greatest people in White Sox franchise history. Mark Buehrle. He has been one of the biggest joys that I've ever had announcing for the White Sox.
And there is a man you've always said was the nicest man around and one of the greatest teammates you've ever seen anyone have.
He's my all-time favorite White Sox player. I played with a guy who was just like him. They could be twins, same size, look-alikes, same personality, same sense of humor. Neither one of them had good stuff. Catfish Hunter is the other one, and he's in Cooperstown. Yeah. And Mark has got a chance to get there.
He had a terrific career as Jesse Chavez comes on for the 58th time, 5-2, ERA .277.
Well, Mark is one of 16 guys in the history of Major League Baseball, 16 pitchers, to pitch 14 consecutive years with 200+ innings, double-digit wins, 14 consecutive years.
That's pretty amazing.
And of the other 15, 14 of them are in the Hall of Fame. The only one that's not is Roger Clemens, and he was a 7-time Cy Young Award winner. And Roger eventually will get there. Timmy can't get it. Timmy is 20th homer in the 3rd inning. First shortstop in White Sox history to hit 20 home runs and steal more than 20 bases.
All those guys in blue have changed positions during the course of this one.
And there it is, a good start. The dreaded leadoff walk.
Well, you're in the right place in the batting order. You got the top of the order against Chavez.
Here's Yolmer. Single and a run scored in the first. He's 1 for 3. Don't help him out. 1-0 the count.
Contreras goes back, and they'll get ready. Sox have a good chance with the top part of the order up. And good speed at first base with Tim Anderson.
High pop up. One out. You know, that little shot right there, cameo of Mark Burley. Of all the thousands and thousands of games that I've called, that was the most emotional game I've ever called when he pitched that perfect game. Jim Angio and I have our Hall of Fame director who's directing this game, as a matter of fact. I think, Jim, we got, what, 12 no-hitters and 1 perfect game prior to that. I'll tell you what, but that game right there, and it was not so much the perfect game as it was who pitched it.
Yeah. That was pretty special.
Avi can't get it. Avi, he's 2 for 3 with an RBI single in the first inning. And there's the ball. Sox won that ball game yesterday, 10-4. Ronaldo Lopez and then Giolito tonight. As I said, for me, he left this game leading 3-2. And we got another horse going out there tomorrow in Carlos Rodon. And we got some more horses down there on the farm. We got a couple of 3 guys down there that'll touch triple digits.
Kyle Hendricks, Carlos Rodon tomorrow. That game at 1:10. The finale of the Cubs series.
Two down.
Some high heat. Chavez throws it by him. You see where Contreras wanted it? He got it exactly in the spot he called for.
Here's the strike. It's a man, RBI single in the 5th.
That base hit got the Sox to 5-3, which is where it sits.
Yeah. Starting in 2020. Next year's going to be fun too, but starting in 2020, I think, I was talking to some of the writers before the game, and I think it's got a chance certainly to be the greatest decade of baseball in franchise history. And I also think it's got to be a chance to be the greatest decade in Chicago baseball history, because the Cubs are good and they're not going anywhere for a while.
No, they are good, and they will work to keep it good, because they know in the not too distant future that window, which is wide open now, might close a bit more.
Well, as I said, they've got some good leadership and plenty of money behind them. Meanwhile, we're into the 8th. number is X1440048. X1440048. And whoever holds that ticket is going to get themselves $172,032. That's about a month's salary for Stone.
That's pretty good right there, I would say, as Ian Hamilton comes in. And that is some jackpot. Ian Hamilton on for the 8th time, 0-1 ERA of 4.67. He's got to deal with the middle of the Cub order.
Brian takes first pitch strike. You know, I was just talking about, I told my successor, Jason Benetti, who's going to be sitting in this chair for a long time, and I told him, I said, Jason, you get ready to sit back, relax, and strap it down, because you're going to be in for a wild ride.
Yeah, I think
starting in 2020.
Yeah, I think next few years are going to be wildly entertaining. And what has a chance to happen is Chicago becomes the capital of baseball when both teams are really good.
No question about it.
And this is where it's all going to happen here. Because I agree with you, the Cubs are not going anywhere.
No,
they're still going to be very good.
Well, you see this crowd we got here tonight, 39,724. There's going to be a lot more like this.
Well, this is the sellout this year.
There's going to be a lot more like this. Be gone.
Chris Bryant hasn't seen Ian Hamilton before, and he just freezes him with a fastball in the outside corner.
All right. He had a little more time than that.
Yeah, I mean, he really rushed it with the bare hand. Didn't have to, but he's obviously in his first year. He's very psyched up, especially to be in this particular tilt between the Sox and the Cubs. But he made the bare hand pickup and made it well. It's just not recommended for as much time as he had.
Well, he's never pitched before this many people.
No. Jason Hayward had just barely gotten out of the box. He was thrown out by about 30 feet, but turned out to be a good play by Ian.
So here's Contreras, grounded to third, grounded to first, and grounded to short. Yes, sir. You and Jason got a lot of full houses coming your way.
If that's the case, it's going to be really exciting in the park, because
well, that's what I'm talking about. The only way you can fill it up is by having a contender.
No, what I'm saying is every player, when they see a full house, it just psychs them up even more. I mean, they give you things they didn't even know they had when you play in front of crowds consistently like this.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of times that you get into that ballpark, you're going to feel real good. I know when I retired, the year I retired, Leo DeRocher was managing the Cubs, and Alvin Dark and Leo were good buddies. And Alvin didn't want me to retire. I just broken my ankle and my leg, and I didn't want to play baseball anymore. So Alvin called Leo and called me in his office. He said, Hawk, talk here with Leo. Talk to Leo. So Leo says, Hawk, I want you to come up here and play for me. said, Alvin said, you'll hit 50 in this ballpark. And I said, Leo, I don't want to play anymore. I said, first of all, I couldn't play for the Cubs. He said, why? I said, because you could play all day games. And I said, Chicago's too good a town.
It was not easy to do in those days.
Well, we used to have a saying that in order for the Cubs to win anything, they had to have all-merit guys. And I want to say that 69 Cub team was one of the better teams. And Leo made a mistake in that doubleheader with the Mets. He pitched Jenkins and Hands out of rotation, and the Mets won the doubleheader.
That 69, 70, and 71 team, essentially they had the National League All-Star team, and they still could not quite seal the deal, despite the fact they were a wonderfully talented team.
Oh, one of the best I've ever seen.
Every aspect of the game.
One of the best teams, talent-wise, one of the best teams I've ever seen.
If you look at the Hall of Famers on that team, you get Ernie Banks and Billy Williams and Ron Santo and Fergie Jenkins.
People to this day don't understand how good Fergie Jenkins was.
Yeah. Well, 6 straight 20-game years in that little bitty ballpark. He won 26 years in a row.
Do the math. In that ballpark. Whoa, he wanted that pitch and didn't get it.
Well, Contreras was walking away. He thought he was going to get rung up on strike 3. He was pretty much across the plate. Watch Contreras. He thinks it's easy a strike, and then he goes, okay, it's over. Thank you very much. But a reprieve. The governor called late. He gets to hit again.
I thought the pitch was inside. Ball hit hard, sucked up by Yolmer. Do it, Yolmer. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. We still need a couple to tie.
Debit card only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/White Sox to learn more. Wintrust Community Bank, member FDIC.
All right, let's get something going. We got 6 big outs. Wellington. He's 1 for 3. Javier Baez, first inning, made just a sensational play on him. He's out there in short left field. Murphy out there in short right field a second. There's a strike for a 2-1 count. Two and two.
Castillo is asking Mark Ripperger if it was a strike. That ball was a good 3 inches off the outside corner.
That's the worst thing a hitter can do.
I agree. I agree with you. You're letting the umpire know you don't know if it was a strike.
Exactly. Boy, in our time zone, my time zone, if you did that, your manager would actually eat you alive. Outfield really spread out. Big gap out there in left center. Payoff pitch. High pop up right side. Murphy. Bodie, that was Bodie. Cubs made those defensive changes. Bodie now at second base. He mentioned earlier, late innings, if they're a close ball game. Murphy can swing that bat, though. I'll tell you that. That man's dangerous.
He can do that.
I know when he was with the Mets, I thought he was one of the best hitters in the National League.
He had a real good run at it.
Oh. Two down. Kevin now 1 for 4.
Here comes Joe Madden. And it appears that he's going to make a change.
Chavez did his job.
Yes, he did. Chavez threw very well, so as he departs, so will we. We'll be back. Hit from the right side on for the 69th time. ERA of 2.85. He's 4-4. Opponent's batting average of 2.06, and that's really good. think he might have gotten Contreras on the backswing.
Okay, one thing is Wilson gave us some trouble when he was with the Tigers. Meanwhile, that'll retire the side. We'll go to the Knights. We got a hold of him.
And we'll take a look at a little defense. There was some good defense tonight. Matt Davidson with a fine play, taking it himself after faking to Giolito. And then this one off Yomer's glove. 5-6-3 and a great pick on the back end by Matt Davidson. And we get a new pitcher coming into the ball game. It is Rob Scahill on for the 4th time. He's given up nothing.
So here is Schwarber to lead it off. He's 1 for 2. Started off that 3-run 5th with a solid single to left field. Boy, that ball is absolutely crushed.
I think that's 2 bases. Gets trapped under the pads. And Doug Eddings grabbed his wrists, and that is 2 bases.
Pinch runner as we take another look at this rocket.
Well, he just crushed this one right in the middle of the plate, and no chance for Matt Davidson, even though he was fairly close to the line. I mean, you can hardly get closer to the line, yet this rocket just shot by him.
Yeah, when it's hit that hard, you don't have really a chance to react.
Terrence Gore coming on a pinch run. I remember him with Kansas City. He was a man when they expanded the rosters, they brought him up, and he can burn.
Well, he beat us. He beat us more than a couple times in the stolen base. Bodie. David Bodie. Looks like that's going to be a pass ball.
Yeah, that is a pass ball. Sinker for a pass ball. So Bodie was going to bunt the ball. No, not necessary with Gore and his great speed at third.
That's the reason they got to really come in this close.
Yep.
Speed of the runner at third will determine how much you got to come in when the infield is in. Got a little help right there from him.
Jenmar Gomez loosening in the pen. Could not check it up.
Two-two pitch. He gone.
Another breaking ball, this one in a perfect spot. This looked like the slider. And Bodie down on strikes.
Boy, you get an infield in like this, man at third base, less than 2 out. If the approach like that is not very good. It's almost like you got to play pepper with it. Don't turn the head of the bat over. Almost threw it away. Good play by Yeoman. You turn the head of the bat over with a man on third base and less than 2 out, you're taking the worst of it. Almora.
Those are the lines where in front you're not going to try to score. Beyond those lines you will try to score. Like Terrence Gore has seen that one a time or two.
Well, Gore is one of those guys that can move those lines a little bit. A little more in.
Yeah. Not many guys can score on a little tapper to third base, but Gore is one of those guys, and that's why he's in a Cub uniform. Time now for the IDOT Safe Play, reminding you that safe driving habits really are a matter of life and death. There is the little chopper, and here comes Gore. Gomer does the best he can possibly do with what he's got. He just could not get it there in time. Even with a perfect throw, it's going to be really tough. I don't think you get him anyway.
When you're in a pennant race like the Cubs, and you got a guy like in your organization that can run like Gore, that's the reason he's here.
Yeah, that's it.
Because they're in a pennant race.
So run batted in for Albert Elmore Jr.
So here's Zobrist. He is 2 for 4 with a big 2-run single back in the 5th inning. Yeah, Brian Butterfield, third base coach, even on the pop-up behind in the short right field or center field or left field, he's going to send him. He won't with no outs, but with 1 out, yeah, he's going to send him. And there's a souvenir left side. Once again, the attendance tonight, 39,724.
A full house.
Biggest crowd of the season. We have 1 more to go tomorrow. Carlos Rodon on the bump. Kyle Hendricks for them. That game will be over. NBC Sports Chicago. And we'll tee it up at 110. Six-3 ball game. Top of the 9th. There he goes. Safe.
Elmore steals a bag. That's just his 2nd stolen base of the year. Tough ball to handle for Kevin. Cannot get it there in time.
So here's Javi Baez. Baez a 2-run homer in the 1st. He's 1 for 3. Also has walked. .34 homers, 109 driven in.
Outfield straightaway, very deep.
And there's a base hit. Here's a throw by Daniel. Not in time.
It's 110 of them driven in. And a 7-3 lead.
And here comes Ricky.
This one chopped through the left side, and Brian Butterfield going to run on Daniel Polka all day. So Rob Scahill will depart. So will we. We'll be back. For the 23rd time, 0-2, 4.82 ERA. There you look at the rest of the numbers, and he's got some problems in this one. There was a first and second. And he's got Anthony Rizzo to face, which is never an enviable task.
Two in, 2 on, 1 out. Rizzo 0 for 3 with a walk. Last time up, hit a bullet out there in the right field, deep right field. Avi made a nice catch on. As it takes a breaking ball strike. Throws it away. Well, that is 4 gift runs we've given them tonight.
It's very tough to beat a good team, and make no mistake, the Cubs are a good team. By giving away some outs. Looked like it was going to be 2, but right here, the bobble.
Yeah, that's what.
Because Tim is waiting. He's waiting at the bag, and when the rhythm is disrupted, sometimes you're out of position.
breaks the rhythm, and here comes Ricky now. He wants to talk to Joe West. Joe was in perfect position to make the call. And they want to take a look at it. Yeah, you cannot. That's the first rule in baseball.
Yeah, you got to catch it.
You got to catch the ball.
We will see if it was the slide that they're asking about.
Well, we saw that with Adam. His slide took out Murphy, and they only us a score run earlier.
We'll watch it again.
Baez.
Right there, he tried, and I think what Joe is saying is Baez tried to get him with his right hand. Now he didn't get him. That might be what they're looking at.
Well, he still can grab the bag easily,
but he went out to get him with his right arm.
I saw that.
Yeah.
The rules they have today are a little bit different than ones you and I played.
They are. That's it. Yeah, if you were in the neighborhood of the bag, you were an endangered species.
Man, you kidding me? You take guys like Gibson, Bobby Grich. Twins had a guy named Bob Allison.
And now
Joe threw him out.
He threw Tim out of the game.
Yeah.
And Ricky's going out there. He wants to make sure Tim doesn't get to Joe West.
Ricky's going to get run. This will be after the challenges they're talking. And now Ricky gets run.
Ricky wants to get his money's worth as long as he's rung already. Also let him know how you really feel.
Well, we're seeing it, you know. My first two rules. You got to catch the balls, number one, and second rule is don't mess with Joe West. Even though Timmy was hot right there, he'll learn that after they confirm the call, you got to let it go.
There's no doubt about that.
You got to let it go. That's in the right field can of corn. But we have given these guys a bunch of gift runs tonight, and we'll go to the bottom of the ninth.
Pinstripe, 6-0, ERA 2.39. He threw well at Toronto. He's been brilliant with the Yankees, 9 starts. So much so that they're talking about him in the one-and-done game over Severino, because Severino's been a little inconsistent, and Happ has been brilliant. So we'll see how that plays out. Toyota, let's go places.
Well, there you go. You know, Happ's a left-hander. Severino's got a much better arm. Throws about 1.5 feet quicker.
No doubt.
But
not as effective right now. And
no.
Steve Cishek comes in the game on for the 74th time. He's been very durable for the Cubs and a great addition to the bullpen.
So here's Daniel. Takes a breaking ball strike. And since this is my last telecast ever on WGN, I want to thank all the great people at WGN over the years. I've had a wonderful time working with them. And I was hoping to get a win tonight, but we gave them too many gift runs.
That's usually the case.
And our Hall of Fame director, Jim Angio, who does all of the Sox games for GN. Also the producer, John Walgren, who John and I have been buddies for a long, long time. I want to thank John for all these years. Jordan Beasley, who does such a great job up here as the stage manager. Terrific young man. Associate producer, the mayor, me and Joe Groove. And he is with us. How long we been together, Mayor?
70 years.
29 years.
That's it? Just 29?
He still looks like he's 17 years old.
I know. He's the youngest looking 70-year-old I've seen.
There's Chopper right side. And of course the executive producer for WGN Sports, Bob Vorwall. Chris Ross in audio. Hi home cameraman Joe Paulsback and all the other great. I tell you, people don't understand. You and I do, because we've been in this business a long time. The real stars of the baseball telecast are not the announcers; they're the crew.
Well, they get here really early and usually stay late.
They are the crew. I mean, they are the stars.
Yuri Garcia coming up. We have not seen him in a while.
There's a strike. Jim Angio, this is his 40th year directing White Sox games. I love him like a brother. That's in the left field. They got a man there. 2 down.
Jose Rondon, who checked in when Tim Anderson was ejected by Joe West, will get in at bat.
finale of this 3-game set, and obviously, unless there's a miracle, it's going to be the rubber match tomorrow afternoon. We'll tee it up at 1:10. Three and one to count. And when that ball comes down, this game will be over. They win it 8-3, and we'll be back.